Hey, what's going on guys? OneUpEagle here, and welcome to episode 6 of Scrimming Essentials, a weekly series where we'll be breaking down the basics of how to scrim in Fortnite. Today, I'll be covering how to play scrims with low performance. I'll leave some timestamps up on the screen if you want to go to a specific section of the video. Low FPS. Playing Fortnite with low FPS can be a big pain to deal with. Whether you're running the game on a potato, a console with limited FPS, or just experience random FPS drops, we all know how aggravating and annoying it is to play on low FPS. Because of this, let's talk about how we can cope and deal with that. In this section of the guide, I'll be talking about two main topics. Number 1, playstyle. Number 2, loadouts. Playstyle. If you're suffering from low FPS or random FPS drops, I would suggest that you try to adopt a more ranged or lurking playstyle. What I mean by this is instead of trying to W key into someone's box and take a close range fight, try to keep some distance between your opponent. This doesn't mean you have to take a completely passive playstyle, however. You can still be more aggressive with low FPS, just make sure you deal significant damage onto your opponent and keep the pressure up while pushing. The reason for this is because the closer you are to player built structures, the more likely you will drop in FPS. If you drop in FPS while you're in a fight, you might not be able to close out the kill, or you could get killed yourself, so make sure you take that into consideration. Loadouts. On screen is the loadout that I would suggest that you take. With this loadout, you'll be maximizing your mid to far range damage, so SMGs, drum guns, AR, snipers are all good guns to keep pressuring your opponent without getting too close to them. High ping. High ping is really annoying to deal with and can result in you dying a lot if you don't know how to cope with it. In this section of the video, I'll be talking about 3 main topics. Number 1, playstyle. Number 2, loadout. Number 3, strategies. If you have high ping, consider having an extremely passive playstyle. Try to avoid all early to mid-game fights and focus solely on getting to endgame. Here's the loadout that I would suggest you have. TAC for faster shooting, SMG to pressure, an AR for long-ranged engagements, RPG or utility, or triple heals. This loadout is solely focused on increasing your survivability. With triple heals, you'll be able to take a lot more damage, and with attack, you'll be able to have a lot more kill pressure than a pump in a box fights. Strategies. For strategies, let's take a look at Nanolight's superb Cash Cup performance. Nanolight is a pro player who recently performed really well at the Dream Pack, and he's playing at around 50 to 80 ping because of his location in which he lives in. One of the tips that I take away from his gameplay is he always focuses on making it to endgame. When he's in a box fight, he also pressures different walls to fake out his opponent. After Nanolight takes his opponent's wall, he continues to apply pressure with attack. A pro tip is to take your opponent's wall while shooting it with your shotgun. You won't give your opponent a chance to shoot you back because you'll always have your gun out, ready to shoot. Nanolight does this a lot because he knows that he's playing on high ping and won't be able to take a wall very easily. By keeping his shotgun out, he never gives his opponent any chance to shoot him back. Endgame micro-stuttering. Endgame micro-stuttering is one of the worst things you can experience. Whether it happens in late game or during early game, micro-stuttering can be severely detrimental to your performance. In order to cope with these spontaneous occurrences, I will be talking about playstyles and a couple of strategies you can use to minimize the damage of micro-stuttering to your gameplay. Playstyle. If you experienced micro-stuttering before, you're probably prone to experiencing it again. To counter this, try to adopt an extremely passive playstyle during endgames and try to avoid all close-range fights throughout the game. Strategies. Build ahead of zone. If you know that you're prone to experiencing micro-stuttering, try to get ahead of the zone. When you're experiencing the stutter, it's better to be ahead of the zone and safe in a box so you don't have to worry about rotating into the next zone. Number 2, avoiding all close-range engagements if possible. In endgame, try to get onto your own layer and build ahead into the zone. Avoid going to ultimate low ground or trying to contest for height if you know you're prone to stuttering. Engaging into a fight and then freezing can result in an untimely death. Number 3, try to stay in a box as much as possible. Don't try to take shots at your opponents, but rather focus on rotating and surviving as long as possible. This concludes episode 6 of Scrimming Essentials. As requested, please join me next week when I'll be covering how to W key and how to finish fights faster. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great time scrimming.